Thank you, Hope. Can you hear me? Okay. I want to tell you about Tommy. We're very honored to have you here today, Tommy, as well as Debbie and Chris. Um, Tommy grew up in Broadway, North Carolina. He's a graduate of NC State University. I'm holding off for applause. Okay. Following graduation, he relocated to Winston-Salem, working in the sales field before moving back to the Sanford area, where he managed a grocery store for 7 years. In 1987, Tommy made a career change going into the insurance and financial services industry. In 2000, he joined Consolidated Planning as a financial planner and is a registered investment advisor. Tommy owns and operates Rosser Financial Group, LLC, DBA Consolidated Planning of Sanford. They specialize in individual financial, retirement, and estate planning. He's a certified exit planner, helping business owners with business succession and business exit planning. He has earned the designations of Charter Financial Consultant, Retirement Income Certified Professional, Certified Exit Planner, and Life Underwriter Training Council Fellow. Now, in August of 2000, Tommy joined the Sanford Rotary Club, where he served in several positions before serving as president from 2005 to 2006. He received the honor of Rotarian of the Year of the Sanford Club in 2002 and 2007. He has served as Area 10 Foundation Representative and Area 10 Assistant District Governor. While serving as Area 10 Assistant District Governor, Tommy was instrumental in forming the new Pittsboro Rotary Club and the new Interact Club in Sanford. He was awarded the Rotary Foundation District Service Award in 2007. Tommy and his wife Glenda were the Rotary International President's Representative hosts for the 2016 District Conference. Tommy's a Bequest Society member, a Sustaining member, Paul Harris Society member, and a benefactor. He and Glenda both are Paul Harris Fellows. He has also served in several nonprofit organizations. Tommy's been active. He's been an active member of the Broadway Baptist Church since 1984, where he served in numerous positions, including being a deacon. Tommy and Glenda were married in 1980 and have lived in Broadway for the last 36 years. Glenda is a graduate of Campbell University and is a financial services supervisor with the city of Sanford. Their son, Justin, is a police officer with the Apex Police Department and is married to Alicia and with two stepsons. Their daughter, Amber, is a mortgage loan officer, is married to Derek Cameron, and they have one son. Amber is a member of the Sanford Rotary Club, where she serves as president of her club and has served in a district leadership role. Tommy enjoys spending time with his family, going to the beach, fishing, and playing golf. It is my honor and privilege to introduce Tommy Rosser, our district governor.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Club. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So kind. It's just great, and to be here at such a great club today. But, you know, we have such a great district. I've got to tell you that everywhere I go, when I tell them I'm from District 7690, I mean, their eyebrows just raise up. And it's because of past district governors that we have such a great district. And I don't know if you have any on here the line today, but, you know, I just want to give all the past district governors a big hand because they have provided all this that we have today. And, but, you know, I travel, and I love to travel. And this year I got me a traveling companion. Now, whether I'm with you live or I'm virtual, here's my traveling companion. Okay, now this is Clyde. Clyde is my companion traveling with me this year. And if you notice, Clyde is a flamingo. Okay? Now, what has a flamingo got to do with Rotary? Well, my district governor's classmates from Zone 33 and 34, we adopted the flamingo as our mascot this year. Why the flamingo? Well, the flamingo is, first of all, they're leaders. The second thing with the flamingos is that when they mate, they stay together for life. So they're family. And you know what? That's the way I consider all of us. We're family. This wonderful club of Thomasville is part of Team 2020, and we're all a family. I can tell from the fellowship I've heard on here and the board meeting, you guys are family. As somebody put it to me in a meeting, you cover each other's back, and that's wonderful. That's teamwork. But, you know, even as a team, though, we have some people that seem to always put forth that extra effort. And I asked your president, Hope, I said, Hope, I need somebody. And she had a hard time with this. I said, we're going to recognize one as our hero for the day. And I said, who is this individual that you would want to recognize? Well, she said this individual is always willing to help where he can, from volunteering on projects, from taking on leadership responsibilities. He supports Rotary with all his resources, time, talent, treasure, and heart. And I like that part. But he's quick. He only joined the club in 2017, but quickly immersed himself in learning about club and Rotary and doing something. I have this Rotary pen. That's a Rotary Hero pen. You can't buy them. They're specially made. And I'd like to present this one to Doug Hunt. Where's Doug at? Doug at? Okay, if he'll get great. Give him a hand. Doug, you're the hero today. Thank you for what you do for Rotary and continue to do for Rotary. Okay? You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for jumping in and taking charge and getting things done with Rotary. We love that. But, you know, another person I have to recognize is my hero today. And this person, this individual, is the one that's going to lead your committees and your club this year. And along with me, this individual is your club president. Hope, I want to give you a hero pin too, okay? So I'm going to mail you these hero pins, and you can give it to Doug, and you can have one too. You're my hero today, okay? You have another special presentation here. This individual is my hero too, because without this individual, I couldn't keep up with clubs all around. And being from this club, I have just got to recognize and give our area governor from your club, Kim Cecil, a hero pin. So, Kim, I'm going to give you a hero pin. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for helping us out. But, you know, we're all team. You're all heroes in my book. As far as I'm concerned, you're all heroes. We're here today, and it's such a great attendance that we've got here today, and I just loved being able to talk with you about Rotary. I'm very passionate about Rotary. But, you know, as Kim pointed out, I've served several positions in Rotary in my 20 years as a member, and I enjoyed every position that I served in. And I always have to tell the most memorable part I've ever had in serving. I love being district governor, but I was area governor when I got to induct my daughter as president of my club. Now, when you get family members involved, that is a good feeling. And my daughter would still be involved, except she's got my grandson turns 2 years old this weekend, so we're having a party for him. So he's a handful for it. But, you know, I would have never known what the joy and the fun is of serving in Rotary if it hadn't been a friend of mine, and he's a distant cousin, about fourth cousin. His name was Fletcher Rosser, who worked in the same office building as me. Now, Fletcher was a big Wolfpacker. He was 6'4", had a game, tickets to all the games. He loved football, basketball, but he loved Rotary. One day when I was walking by his office, it was a hot July day in 2000. He says, "What are you doing for lunch today?" I said, "I don't know." He says, "Well, I know." I said, "What?" He said, "You're going to meet for lunch." I said, "I am." He said, "Yeah, I'm going to buy you lunch." I said, "All right, where are we going?" He said, "Rotary." I said, "What is Rotary?" I had no idea what Rotary was. You know, I'd been in Sanford. I've been working around all these years. I didn't know what Rotary was. He said, "Come on, we'll have a good time. We'll go to lunch." And I had no idea that I was going to have some kind of secret handshake or pass blood off as blood brother, whatever. I didn't know what it was. But fellow Rotarians, I'm going to tell you, I went in that luncheon that day, and I didn't know what to expect. But everyone in that building, that day, that meeting, was so nice and so friendly. I enjoyed it so much, the fellowship, that I went back the next week. And then I went back the week after that. And then I went another week. Then in August of 2000, I joined the Rotary Club of Sanford. Now, why am I telling you that? Well, I'm telling you because you never know that person you invite to come to Rotary might be a district governor with 7690. You never know. So you need to just invite them and let them experience the fun, the great fun and fellowship that we have in Rotary. Now, really, I joined Rotary really for the networking. I was a businessman, a business owner. I just changed careers, and I was just looking for ways to network. And, that's why Paul Harris started the Rotary, was networking. I said, I'm going to network. And when I walked into that room with that Sanford Rotary Club, at that time, that club had over 130 members sitting in that club. Plus, we had in Sanford another club called Jonesboro Club and a breakfast club called San Lee Club. Now, between all of them, it was right around 185 members. But sadly to say, fellow Rotarians, today there's 2 clubs and about half that number of people. We just haven't found the excitement that we need to get Rotary going again. And when I joined, I have to admit to you, I was a rhino. I was a Rotarian in name only for several years. I was. And I had no idea what Rotary was about. Then a friend of mine, Hal Tysinger, who was the district photographer at that time for the Sanford Club, he said, come on, you're going to go with me to a district conference. And Deb, I was one of those, I didn't know what district conference was, and I went to it. And it was at Sea Trail. And that was in 2002. Henry Brown was the district governor, and I went to Sea Trail. I said, I'll go, because Sea Trail was close to the place. I've got a place at Ocean Isle, so I said, I'll go and experience that. But let me tell you something. That experience that I had, the excitement in that fellowship, in that room, it was wonderful. When Margaret Padgett called out all the clubs and they got up and did the cheer for their club and say, we're here. And I'll never forget, every year, Pinehurst always says 4 for golf. They were fun. I experienced something outside the 4 walls of where my club meets every week. And that was exciting to me. But I have to tell you, I had my real aha moment with Rotary when Glenda and I, my wife, we went to Chicago in 2005. It was an international convention. Now, understand, 2005 in Chicago, Rotary was 100 years old, and it was a fabulous place. We went in, though, but when we walked into the room and we went to this place that was called the House of Friendship. Now, in case you don't know what the House of Friendship is, it's just where people bring projects from all over the world, and they're trying to get you to invest your money and help them with their projects. When we walked into that room, and it was so big, so many of them, it just blew us away. We looked at those things and said, how in the world? We got so many people from all over the world. And we walked down in there, and they were trading flags, and they were trading pins and cards, and it was a lot of excitement. And we were just looking at each other and said, wow, this is Rotary. And fellow Rotarians, that's when I realized why I joined Rotary and continue to be a Rotarian, is because we're outside the 4 walls that we meet in. When we go to district conference and we go to the international, we're all over the world. We get to fellowship with people throughout the world. And that's what I love about Rotary. I can go anywhere in the United States right now. I just got through helping a Rotary Club in Southern Pines to deliver an ambulance to Mexico. And it was through Rotary we were able to connect that and get it done. But this year, Rotary International President Holger Knott has chosen Rotary Opens Opportunities as a theme for his year. How appropriate. Now, the theme for this year is Rotary's Opportunities, but the logo is these 3 doors behind me. Okay, now these 3 doors behind me, I look at these doors as opportunities of passion for each Rotarian to select which one they're passionate about. Now, you know as well as I do, when you find your passion, you discover why you join Rotary and why you continue to serve in Rotary. Fellow Rotarians, we have to find our passion at this time, this difficult time in this world. Passion. We've got to have it. So when I look at the doors, the first door that I open up behind me is the door of opportunity that I open, and why I joined Rotary is the fellowship. You guys were going with each other when we started this meeting. That was wonderful to see you there. Fellowship is what people love to do. We miss being in person fellowship, but we're able to fellowship online. But we fellowship working together for a common cause that improves our communities and in the world that we live in. But fellow Rotarians, to continue doing good work, we must make membership our priority this year. Now, along with inviting friends to visit your club, we got to look at ways of new innovative ways to get new members involved. So I'm asking you, each of you, to think of a place outside to let your president, your area governor, and your membership advocate know of a place close by that we could start maybe a possible satellite club or a new Rotary club. I mean, there's a club right now that's fixing to open up a satellite club in a retirement community. Okay, we're looking at that. I was talking to your board about opening up a young professional satellite club. There's all kinds of ways that we can have. They just meet at a different time, but they help you with your projects, and they count towards your membership. Membership is important, but not as much as the impact we have in our communities. So that's why we want to do that. Now, when you're looking at your club this year, I'm going to ask you to ask this question. Does your Rotary Club reflect your community? Does your Rotary Club reflect your community? Rotary's top priority this year is growing and diversifying our membership to reflect the communities we serve. We've got to improve our diversity, our equity, inclusion in our Rotary clubs. Everybody needs to be involved as a Rotarian. And if they can't meet on Wednesday at lunch when you die, set up a satellite club. Let them meet at breakfast or dinner. Debbie Scott's club set up a satellite club in a brewery in the afternoon. And they're growing people all the time, especially young professionals. So look outside the box. But not only do we need to look at growing our membership, we've got to retain what we've got. You guys do a great job retaining what you get, your members. But the reason is because you're getting them involved. And that's what we got to do. Retention is the top priority. It's not going to do any good to bring 10 new members in and have 10 people leaving. Now, I've challenged your board to hit 100 members this year. And I think you can do it. But here's the thing. We got to retain them. Now, my Flamingo classmates, we have a campaign this year, and I'm adopting it for District 7690. And it's this: no member left behind. We don't want any member left behind because of this COVID. You've got to get them involved. Every single member of your club is an asset to the success of your club. So let's make sure they stay involved. Now, that person joined your club for a reason. And there may be a reason they're contemplating leaving the club. You've got to stay in contact with them. And clubs, I'm asking you to create care committees. You might already have one. But, send out cards. That is a lost art in this world, is sending cards. We're so stuck with emails, phone calls. Send a card to somebody that you're missing, not there. That means the world. I got a card from a president the other day, and it meant so much to me. I've got it up on my desk now. Cards. Send cards to these people. Call your missing members. Visit the sick people. Check on the elderly. See if they need anything that maybe we can have somebody help them out with. And continue to look for ways to let your members know that we care about them. And we need them in Rotary. So the first the first place I was telling your board to look at is think about members that were in your club years ago and that left for some reason or another. Maybe it wasn't a good time for them. Talk to them now and ask them to come back in. One club, they did that, and they've already got 2 new members coming back in. One of them was because their children were small. Now the children are grown. They're wanting to get back in Rotary. You never know what it is. Look outside the box and ask these people. Stay in contact with each other. Let your president know what's on your mind in your clubs. Let them know that, hey, we need to concentrate on this, or I'm passionate about this. Let them know. But we got to be creative about our meetings. Make them exciting, educational, and fun. Right now with Zoom, I know people are tired of Zoom, but you know what? We're getting some of the best speakers we've ever gotten with Zoom. And some clubs have gained, one of them has gained 4 members because of Zoom. It's more convenient for some people. And I'm going to tell you, even when you go back to meeting in person, you're probably going to go hybrid. You should, because you're going to lose some people if you don't. Because Zoom and hybrid, that way they can meet and they can enjoy. But the first door that I open up back here, opportunity, a passion of why I joined Rotary, is the fellowship. Now, the second door that I'm going to open up behind me of why I joined Rotary and the opportunity that I have is because of the good we do in our communities and in the world. You do wonderful things in your community. I mean, that's just evidence of the reports I've got. But, you know, this year we've been working on so much with rush programs and all. This year, I've decided that I want to concentrate on two things. One of them is we're going to support our first responders. How many first responders we have out here in the audience? Raise your hand. Okay? I see first responders. Thank you for what you do. We don't recognize them enough. This year, you're going to get money for, if you put up $100, at least $100, we're going to give you $400 to do something for first responders. Doesn't matter. You're going to do that. Rotary's already has approved the district grant, so we're going to do something with that. So first responders, and I actually had the first responders picked out that I want to do something for this year back in December. We got to recognize our first responders. They put their lives on the line. So thank you for what you do. The second big project I've got this year is polio. Now, in case you missed it, 2 weeks ago, the World Health Organization and Rotary declared Africa, Nigeria, polio free. So we are down to 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Yeah, I see the claps out there. That deserves a big clap because Rotary has worked hard, and we're going to continue to working hard. So polio is a top priority. And under the leadership of immediate past district governor Randy Perkins, he's going to be heading up a new campaign this year that we're doing on a district-wide. It's called the Polio Plus Promise, okay? Polio Plus Promise, I'm asking everybody to sign a paper just saying that if you possibly can do it, financially able to do it, every year until polio is eradicated, to give $100 to polio. $100. Now, most of us taking a wife or family out, that's 1 or 2 times out eating somewhere a year. $100 is all we're asking. But you take 2,500 members in our district, give $100, $250,000, then Bill and Melinda Gates adds $500,000 to it. We got $750,000 going to polio. That's what we want to do. In fact, our district golf tournament on September 24th at Caroline Trace in Sanford, I don't know if you have a team going or not, but I hope you do. We only have spots for about 3 more teams, so that's good. I see head shakes, thank you. And also sponsorships that we pull in from that golf tournament. Every bit of that goes to polio. We're pushing polio this year. And you can get details about the Polio Plus Promise on the district website. And we want to do this. And why? Because fellow Rotarians, we cannot let our children, our grandchildren, and our great-great-great-grandchildren down. Now, we're down to 2 countries. Let's eradicate the wild virus from this earth. That's what we have to do. So we got to get the polio eradicated. So the second door that I open up right here for opportunity in our communities is what good we do in the communities and in the world. Now, the last door that I open up here, and I think is the best part of Rotary that we cannot overlook, is our foundation. Now, our foundation has got the Charity Navigators rated the highest 4-star for years past, and just got a brand new rating of 4-star. But the thing I look at is this: where else can you put your money? And after 3 years, 50% of your money that you give comes back to the district that we can use for projects, like for the first responders. Where else? Now, in my business, in the financial world, we call that a velocity of money. How to make money work more than one way. And that's a great return on your money. In fact, after 3 years, 50% comes back to the district. The other 50% goes to the World Fund, which helps out with world hunger and other things going on. So it's a great way to be able to help. Foundation. But through the foundation, too, we can leave a legacy to help Rotary continue to do good around the world for many years to come. So think about it this way. Here's the way I look at it. What I leave the Rotary Foundation is not only for what they're going to do now, but the legacy I'm leaving is for my great-great-great-great-grandchildren years to come. How can you leave something to your children tenfold down the road but only through the foundation. The foundation gives you a way of giving to your great-great-great-grandchildren. We also need to work on, I know that I think you said here you had 13 Paul Harris Society members. Thank you for that. And if you don't know what a Paul Harris Society member is, if somebody's pledging to give $1,000 a year to the Rotary Foundation. Now me, I'm a little bit skimmish when I start writing a $1,000 check. Okay, I'm just that way. But they take $85 a month out of my account. That don't bother me. But I'm still a Paul Harris Society member. And you can be too, just as little as $85 a month. Now, this year also, I'd like for every club in their district to participate in one global grant this year, okay? Now, we can't write many global grants right now because of COVID, but we do have a lot of them going on. And right now, we have one going on that we're just trying to get it going right now to India, and it's on the working on feet. So that's the Mark Bernard he's in the Southern Pines Club, and he has planned going to India. What he does, him and some doctors, they go in, and you go into India, they have children that walk forward, but their feet are pointed backwards. It's amazing to see the video. But after their surgeries, their feet are turned around. That's why I want everybody to get involved in a global grant. If you can't do that, but just give some money. You don't have to know how to write it. You don't have to do anything. Our committee knows how to do that. But when you see that child walking straight and their feet are straight and they got a smile on their face, that's why we get involved with global grants. And when we get involved with global grants, we get excited about giving money to the foundation. Your passion will increase significantly if you get involved in global grant. So our committee can help you with any grant you want to get involved with. There's still some out there that need funding, that need help, that we don't have to start a new one. You don't have to write one. We have people that know how to do that. We also want to continue supporting our district grants that make a difference in our communities. We're still making an impact in our communities, even in this pandemic. And even in the pandemic today, and even in our clubs today, leaders like you are leading. And, you know, we have to look at why we're leading and why we want to be a leader. But here's the thing about it. We love Rotary. That's what we love. And to get involved with Rotary, I think one of the best ways you can get involved with Rotary and understand more about Rotary is to do the RLI, Rotary Leadership Institute. That is online now. It's easy to do, and it's great. It gets you involved. But my third reason why I'm a member of Rotary, and why I continue to be Rotary, is the foundation. So the fellowship, the good we do in the communities and the world, and the foundation. Those are reasons why I am a member. So I got a question for you. Which door of opportunity behind me does your passion want to open up and go through? Think about when you first got involved with Rotary. I mean, really involved in Rotary, not a rhino, but you got involved. How excited you were about it, and you were passionate about it. And you may still be, but if you're not, we need to reach down and find what is that passion that we want to do in Rotary. So I'm asking you, which door do you want to open up this coming year? And the second question is, do you know why you're a member of a Rotary Club? Do you know your why? If you found your passion, you know your why. But if you haven't, you need to know why you're a member. And you know what? I can look at my head and it's turning white and gray and everything else. But we look at our lives, and most of us can't tell me what happened in the last 20 years of our lives. It went by pretty fast. You don't believe me? Blink your eye and the next 10 years are gone before you know it. But here's why I'm telling you that. It's because before you know it, June 30th, 2021 will be here, and you'll say, oh my God, what do? We worried about the COVID so much. We didn't get our jobs done. We didn't get our projects done. We didn't do what we said we were going to do. Don't let it beat you. This COVID will not beat us. Then the next question, last question I'm going to ask you is, in June of 2021, will your club reflect the community you serve? Will your club reflect the community you serve. It's so important that we get everybody involved in Rotary, and that we get them to know what Rotary is about, and we keep them involved in Rotary. Fellow Rotarians, this is difficult times we're in right now. But we're Rotarians, and we've been through this difficult times before. You don't believe me? Go back and look at the history books. Pull the videos. Back in the 40s and 50s, they had a virus then in this country. It was called the polio virus. It shut down cities. It shut down businesses. It shut down government. It shut down a lot of places because they didn't know how to handle the virus. And they came out of that stronger and better than before. And we'll do the same thing. But look, hey, the good thing about it here is we have technology to communicate with each other and to do good in the world and to continue doing good in our communities. They didn't have that back then. We have that. And you and I both know that these times will pass. This COVID will pass, and we'll get back to some type of normalcy. But now you and I can't control what's happening in the world today. But we can control our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions to what's happening today. Don't let this virus win. Don't let it take the joy that you have for Rotary out of your life, because it will pass, and Rotary still will be here. Now, this virus has forced us into a new Rotary. We're here meeting online right now, and we will meet back in person one day. But most people, most clubs going back to meeting in person, they're going hybrid. So you got to think about that. But we will go back to meeting one day. But it's forced us in this new Rotary. So let's seize the opportunities. How great it is. Rotary opens opportunities. Let's seize the opportunities as Team 2020 to build a stronger, more diverse, and inclusive Rotary Club of Thomasville and in District 7690. Now, for our district to come out of this stronger, each one of you must choose what door you have a passion for and work together in making a difference in the world, in our communities, and in ourselves. These are historical times, fellow Rotarians. But they're historical. It's kind of funny to think about it, but years down the road, your children, great-great-grandchildren are going to look at pictures of this time and say, why in the world do they have a mask on? Why were they doing all those things? It's historical times. But you know what? Working together as Team 2020, we will create positive history by achieving our goals this year. You achieve your goals this year, you've defeated the virus, because it will be gone. So Team 2020, I'm asking you this. Let's open opportunities in our community. Let's achieve our goals. And I promise you that we get to district conference on April 16th through the 18th at the Grove Park Inn in Asheville, we will celebrate big time because we have survived the virus and we achieved our goals. And I'm looking for platinum out of you guys, the Achievement Awards. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for being a part of Rotary. And we are Team 2020. The district is here to support you in any way possible. So let us know what we can do. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that inspirational message. We appreciate you meeting with our leadership group ahead of the meeting today, and we appreciate so much the message you delivered today.
Thank you.
I made note of some of your challenges for us, and our team will be, working on making sure that by June 30th, we can answer yes to a lot of those questions you're going to ask us. And
thank you, Hope. I look forward to having a big celebration. And I don't know if you want to open it up for questions or anything, but we're here to support you. That's what we're here for.
So absolutely, if anybody has questions for District Governor Tommy, if you will unmute yourselves so that he can hear you.
But thank you, everybody. Such a great club. Great club. And I want to personally thank Kim for being the area governor and working so hard with that, and it's from your club. Wayne did a great job for her, and then now she's here. So it's just a great club. But we're here to help, and any questions you have, just let me know. If I don't have the answers, we'll get the answers. But we will get through this coronavirus. We will get through it, and we'll be stronger than ever because we're stuck together. And you know what? The reason is because we're meeting right now on Zoom, and we're communicating with each other, and we're planning. We're getting it done.
All right. Thank you, Tommy.
Thank
And
you.